There's a question that will change your entire life. The ancient Stoics asked it every single day, and yet somehow, in our modern world of therapy apps and self-help books, we've completely forgotten it. I'm going to tell you what that question is. But not yet. First, I need you to understand something about Marcus Aurelius. He was the emperor of Rome, the most powerful human being on earth at that time. He could have anything he wanted with a snap of his fingers. And you know what he did every morning? He reminded himself that everyone he loved would die, that his empire would crumble, that he, himself, was just a temporary arrangement of atoms that would soon dissolve back into the universe. Now, why would the most powerful man alive do something so morbid? That's where this story really begins. Let me paint a picture of your life right now. Maybe not all of it applies to you, but some of it will hit hard. You wake up already tired. There's a knot in your stomach before you even check your phone. You scroll through social media and somehow feel worse about your own life. Your to-do list is growing faster than you can complete it. You've got goals you set months ago that you haven't touched. Relationships that need attention you don't have energy to give. And somewhere, deep down, there's this voice that keeps asking, when did I lose control? Here's the first fact I want you to hold on to. Fact number 1. According to the American Psychological Association's 2023 study, 77% of adults report experiencing physical symptoms caused by stress, and 73% report psychological symptoms. But here's the hidden insight: most of that stress comes from feeling powerless. The Stoics understood this 2,000 years ago. They had a word for it, prosoke, which means attention, or mindfulness. Not the Instagram version. The real version. Fact number 2, Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who started as a slave, taught that we should spend our mental energy only on things within our control. Modern neuroscience backs this up. Studies from Stanford University show that perceived control over stressors reduces cortisol levels by up to 50%. But here's where most people get it wrong. You think you want to control everything. Your career trajectory. Other people's opinions of you. The outcome of your efforts. The traffic. The weather. What your ex is doing right now. Mark Manson calls this giving too many fucks. The Stoics called it desiring what is not up to us. Same problem. Different millennium. Fact number 3. The Stoics divided all of existence into 2 categories, things you control and things you don't. According to their philosophy, you control exactly 3 things: your opinions, your impulses, and your desires. That's it. Everything else? Not your department. Now, your brain is screaming at me right now. But I need to care about my job. My relationships. My health. Hold on. I didn't say don't care. I said don't try to control what you can't control. Fact number 4. A Harvard study spanning 75 years found that the quality of our relationships is the single biggest predictor of happiness and longevity. But here's the twist: the happiest people weren't those who controlled their relationships. They were people who showed up consistently regardless of the outcome. See the difference? You control showing up. You don't control how someone responds. You control your work ethic. You don't control the promotion. You control your choices. You don't control the consequences. And this is where something fascinating happens. Thoughtful pause, then continue. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher and one of the richest men in Rome, wrote something that sounds absolutely insane when you first hear it. He said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Think about that for a second. Fact number 5. Research from Cornell University found that 85% of what people worry about never actually happens. And for the 15% that does happen, 79% of people reported they handled it better than expected or learned something valuable from it. Your brain is running disaster simulations 24/7. What if I fail? What if they judge me? What if I'm not good enough? What if it all falls apart? Fact number 6. The average human has between 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. According to the National Science Foundation, 80% of those thoughts are negative, and 95% are repetitive, the same worries, cycling through your mind like a broken record. So here's the brutal truth Mark Manson would give you. Most of your suffering is optional. Not all of it. Real pain exists. Loss is real. Hardship is real. But the suffering you add on top? The story you tell yourself about what it means? The catastrophizing? The ruminating? That's optional. And it's costing you everything. So the Stoics developed a hack. A mental tool that sounds simple but changes everything when you actually use it. They called it the view from above. Fact number 7. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily. He would imagine zooming out from his body, seeing himself in Rome, then Italy, then Earth, then the cosmos. Modern psychology calls this cognitive distancing, and studies show it reduces emotional reactivity by up to 50% and improves decision-making under stress. Here's how it works. Right now, you're worried about something. Maybe it's a conversation you need to have. A bill you can't pay. A mistake you made. Zoom out. In 1 year, will this matter? In 5 years? In 10? When you're on your deathbed looking back at your life, will this moment of panic even register? Fact number 8. According to research from the University of California, when people practice perspective-taking techniques regularly, they show increased activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for rational decision-making, and decreased activity in the amygdala, where fear and anxiety originate. But here's the thing the Stoics understood that modern self-help often misses. This isn't about minimizing your problems. It's about right-sizing them. Some things are worth your full emotional investment. The Stoics weren't robots. They loved deeply. They cared intensely. They just chose what to care about with ruthless precision. Remember that question I mentioned at the beginning? The one the Stoics asked every day? Here it is. What is the most useful way to think about this situation right now? Not why is this happening to me? Not is this fair? Not how can I avoid this? But, what is the most useful way to think about this? Fact number 9. Cognitive behavioral therapy, one of the most effective therapeutic approaches in modern psychology, is directly based on Stoic principles. The core idea, that our thoughts about events, not the events themselves, determine our emotional responses, comes straight from Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius. This question gives you back your power. Your car breaks down? Useful thought, this is inconvenient, but it's also an opportunity to practice patience and problem solving. You get rejected? Useful thought, I now have clarity. This path wasn't right, so I can redirect my energy towards something better aligned with who I am. You're overwhelmed with responsibilities? Useful thought, I have people and projects worth caring about. That's a privilege I should honor with my best effort. Fact number 10. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who practice reframing negative situations show 31% higher resilience scores and recover from setbacks 40% faster than those who don't. This isn't positive thinking. This isn't pretending bad things are good. This is tactical philosophy. This is taking back your mind from the chaos. And here's what happens when you start doing this consistently, when you stop giving a fuck about things you can't control and start directing all that energy toward what you can. But that's what we're going to explore in the next 10 minutes. For now, I want you to try something. Right now. Whatever's stressing you out most, ask yourself, what is the most useful way to think about this? Not the most comfortable. Not the easiest. The most useful. And watch what happens.